to decide who will start on which side, as of course, Fur has a beautiful skin to get going. But will they be able to start on that CT side? It's going to be vital. If they don't, I think that Singularity will just try to build some momentum, who are now currently team damaging as well.
That's not a good start. That's not a good start, but we'll see. Maybe that's not the end of the world, you know? It could be oh dear. Oh no, I think I see this knife going wrong actually. I'm gonna call that now, and oh yeah, no, that's a 2v1. There's no chance he's winning that.
That's what you say, but we've seen crazy things happen in knife rounds.
Oh yes, but Crazy was in a different group, so.
Well, that's true. At least MiBR does win that knife. At least they can start on that CT side. But of course, Singularity will have watched the matches of yesterday, seeing at what most likely are the weaknesses on MiBR going on towards this map. Of course, they see a lot of T rounds to come in due to Copenhagen Flames almost choking it out. So they really had a lot of research material for themselves. And now with Notan being back and Castle at least being the coach that he is, it's going to be an interesting match to fly into. We will start with MiBR now on the CT side. Pistols to come in. And will those USPs get the headshots they deserve?
Yeah, Notan, of course, also a fun kind of little remark for us on the side. A player with a little bit of history in the Benelux region, dipped into the Lowlands Lions team for a little while, formerly known as the Diffuse Kids, of course. So, for a sense, you know, I'd say he's got a little special place in our hearts.
Oh, yes.
So he's got a little bit of Benelux in him. So let's see if he can bring that to the table and perhaps also upset MiBR a little bit further. And of course, you know, shoot them out of the tournament even if they lose this this match. But we'll see. Taco here, his hold doesn't start off too well. He's tagged up a little bit. Falls back to short, but KNG here can come in from a solid water position. And now Iceberg, that's a good opener though. Fallen falls to him.
Yeah, but he's dropped a bomb. And the problem is they just need to hold down that bomb and then they might have a good chance at the round. This will be Cellrate with yet another frag on towards TRK, but it will be KNG still standing by towards that monster area. Both players from Singularity actually a little bit split, but I might have to go for a cheeky push with each other. Of course, MiBR not knowing exactly where they are, they have to look both ways. And as Fur now takes a little bit of damage on towards those T-side players, there's going to be a little bit of a slowdown. No dualies this time for MiBR, which is concerning because they pulled that yesterday on their CT side against the Copenhagen Flames. As you now see KNG go very low. He'll be eventually dinked as well, but he knows both players will be coming from this position. Will deal damage, gets one on towards Iceberg. Only Fur alive, he goes down. Cellrate with 1v2 and a triple kill to start off this match and a 1-0 lead for Singularity. This is the momentum they need to have a chance against, of course, the very strong team on the side of MiBR, the Brazilians. Very well experienced, but so far, with their Europe journey coming in, not really showing up that well.
No, absolutely not. Singularity, they can kind of grab some momentum here, right? We've said it before, and we've also explained it before. With your pistol round, if you win that, you'll be facing off against the Force Spy most usually in that second round. But once you can get that down, you've got a solid 3-round streak going, and that's a nice little stepping stone. That's what you're waiting for, and that's what you're hoping for. Also, Singularity, they do have that, well, I'd say better buy. You know, they've got those 2 AKs, MAC-10s. Iceberg still committing to that UMP, which I find interesting, but oh well, it is what it is.
It's a little bit of personal preference.
Yeah, no, it is, but well, yeah.
You just don't like it that much.
I don't. I've tried to use it in the past, but it just did not work out. Although, to be fair, that could be down to the fact that I have terrible aim and I'm way better at talking about the game than I am at actually playing it.
I could agree with you on that one, as we do see TRK going rather low. But still, he will be surviving. 3 smokes will come in from MiBR, trying to slow down as long as they can, trying to put pressure on towards the Singularity side, who are now slowly moving in for yet another B take. This time around, they at least have a player to cover off the bomb as well. As of course, standing by, KNG going down towards Notan. The MAC-10 coming in quite well. There will be Taco with 1 frag in return. Flashbangs to be thrown on towards Monster. No player actually coming from there. Maybe one later on, as we will be Taco with another frag. And he goes down as well. Good trades coming in from the side of Singularity. Meaning they have the player lead, the bomb plant to come in. And most likely, we dare to say the round, but we never know because that Deagle of Fallen could do some majestic things.
Well, and it could have been the MAC-10 on Fur, you know, that he managed to take with him, but that didn't come through, really. Fallen now can grab that AK, and maybe that's what he needs to clutch, but he doesn't expect no turn from that angle. Slightly elevated position, and with that, he gets a rather effortless headshot onto Fallen. And so Singularity have now captivated that 2-round streak so far, and they are almost certainly looking at getting the third. It is going to be that MiBR situation where they are at a deficit. They don't have the economy, they don't have the buy. And with that, I'm afraid that Singularity is looking at more favorable odds for them in this round, and perhaps also at the start of this half. Of course, the Vi.GG odds are still not in their favor, but those can turn around, of course, getting updated every half minute.
Seems like there will be a long push coming down from the side of MiBR. Iceberg standing by in the player currently will be toying with his meal, and he will also fall to a little bit of a nibble from KNG. At least it's one frag in return for the side of the Danes, yet they lose yet another player, as it's going to be Nota trying to push in, but so far they seem to be doing quite well. KNG standing by, but he can't get another frag in. It will be a rather clean round from the side of Singularity, 3-0 in the lead right now. Looking for more and more rounds in, of course, the rounds to come. Yet they should be worried for the buy to come in from MiBR. Of course, there will be at least one AWP, and there will be some aggression from KNG.
I'm curious, you know, to see, now that you do mention an AWP, I can't wait for Nico to get his hands on this again. Because he has gotten some devilish opening frags with it. You can see also Nota here once again coming in clutch, Mac 10 in hands, can... at the end of this engagement that he had upgrade to that AK as well. So that's a nice little takeaway for them. And we'll see now if Singularity continues. It is the full buy of MiBR that they are indeed facing off against. And who knows if that's the full buy that MiBR needs to actually hold this off now to come back and overtake Singularity.
Oh, push coming in, 2 AWP standing by, but KNG will overextend. He goes down. Taco will get one before being traded out as TRK still on towards the side. Will get one of his own. Nico moves in, but Remoist just a little bit too fast with the frag. Will be too fast straight after. Utility is quite well on the side of Singularity as Fallen now misses the shot himself. Leaves only Fur alive, and he wasn't able to clutch a 1v2 in towards that pistol. So why would he be now, as Nico even is able to upgrade towards that AWP quite freely. Of course, being dropped out by KNG, now moving in. It will be Fur. Takes down the first one. No, not really. Nico being too good. And a 4-0 coming in from the Danish side. MiBR struggling on their first buy, and now going back towards a pistol armor.
It is indeed MiBR who are not off to a good start whatsoever. The first half decisively being for Singularity.
Replay!
The camera just being a little bit annoying. That happens sometimes.
Just a little bit of a remix, man. Sometimes you...
Let's see, though, if that continues now. Singularity, they can, well, play out MiBR at this rate. They're on that pistol armor now. After this, there will be another buy from them coming in, at least to the best of their possibilities, because they've also got that loss bonus going for them, which is a juicy cash bonus on top, but it's not the kind of juicy cash bonus that you want to rely on. Iceberg opens it up again well enough. KNG goes down by his hand. And Fur, maybe from long, with a deagle in hand, can make a bit of a difference, but I don't see it happening. I'm afraid. I'm frightened, shaking in MiBR their shoes, and really wondering if that move to Europe was the right decision.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
you're
maybe,
throwing it out there.
Yeah, just you know, nothing against them, but clearly right now at this point so far, it just hasn't been working out for them whatsoever.
Well, you never know. We'll just see what will happen in the rounds to come. At least we will now see just a little bit of extension to come out towards the mid area. Fur takes down one frag. There will be Remoy going down, but then he will just fall back. Whilst Taco will be tagged up as well. Just a little bit of peaks coming in from MiBR left, right, and center, and sometimes they do have some luck, yet not all the times. It's going to be those Mac 10s running around, or at least only one on towards No10, who doesn't like to go rather aggressive. And it will be once more a B take. Singularity not really favoring to go towards A, because they skipped that stepping in school.
You know, they started right off at the B.
Yep.
No A there. I guess that also means no A game, so that's showing up right now pretty well.
Ooh, Iceberg now moving up as well. The AK in hand, but will not spot the angle. Fur will get one frag to TRK as well, but the problem is that Taco will be cleaned out. Fallen comes in with his deagle, can't hit a single shot, meaning we now have that 5-0 lead, and, well, it seems like Singularity is just way too strong right now, leaving MiBR worrying more and more, but at least now back on towards a buy round. They will have at least one AWP. Last time around we saw two. But will it be enough? Because last time they didn't really make much of a dent against the Singularity team.
And it looks like so far, you know, MiBR, they really need to find their start, I'd say, you know. Now they've got a full buy again. It's another chance for them, but I'm still worried. I don't see MiBR showing up right now, and I wonder, when are they going to? When are they going to be able to hold off, the Singularity train?
Well, let's see Taco standing by with an M4. There will be only one AWP this time around, as of course their funds aren't that high, and they'll be banking on, of course, soon a round to come in to hopefully have a little bit of a better chance. TRK will be boosting KNG, a little bit of an off angle, hoping that a player will move in just a little bit too deep and not spot this out. And there is a chance. However, just when the people are moving in, he drops off and now goes for a resmoke on towards the monster tunnel. So far, we just see a very slow push coming in. Nico is trying to at least get an opening frag with the AWP, and so far, yesterday he was really good at it, but the timing is just off. Taco moves in at the wrong time, meaning we now have a 5-4 in favor of MiBR, actually.
And this could be the chance for MiBR to finally grab a round. That's what they've been waiting for. That's what they've been trying to really achieve, but it might be turned around. There has to be only one frag on the Singularity side to even it out again. And case in point, Notan takes out TRK. Taco, though, immediately with the refrag, but Iceberg coming in with the repeat. And he now doesn't look left before crossing, and that does end up costing him as KNG takes him down, but the bomb plant can now be committed to. That could be the after plant situation that Singularity needs to force out MiBR out of this round.
We're going to see an afterplan once more from the side of Singularity. Fleur is trying to move in as a flanker through Monster. The player is now actually stacking up towards the short area, and will he be in time to get a frag? Yes, that will be Remoy going down, and nade on towards short. That will be Cellray being tagged up and almost falling, yet still being alive. And the time it is ticking down. Fleur is the only player with a defuse kit now having to commit, as the other two members are trying to cover him up. That should be easy, as he does still get one beautiful headshot on towards Fallen. KNG standing by for the refrag, and now two AWPs saved by MiBR, trying to at least get some rounds going for him.
Absolutely, and this is what you're kind of hoping to see, right? It's not really the end of the world yet. It's Singularity. They still have that 4-round advantage, but it is not the worst. This can be worked through by MiBR, but then right now they will have to really bite back, and they will have to really start hacking into the Singularity machine. And right now, I still want to see it to believe it first. I am, as ever, quite critical, I dare say, but I think that's needed, for MiBR with how they performed yesterday as well. I'd say that they really still do need to show up to prove to me that they've got it in them today in a new day.
Of course, Singularity has to win this map. This is their map pick on Overpass. If they do happen to lose this one, it's going to be hard, because afterwards we'll see Dust 2, and MiBR is quite confident on towards that map. 57% win rate out of 7 maps against the 17 out of 6 for the Danes. And you dare to say that would be in favor of the Brazilians, but as we now see Fleur choking on towards Iceberg, a kill comes in from Nico, meaning that also KNG now has to fall back. Sad with a knife in his hand, but luckily Remoy will fall towards Fallen. And then there will be a lineup on towards Underpass. Notan just taking no time at all to get those frags in, and once more the favorable position for the Singularity side. Now I dare to say there might be a chance for MiBR trying to save this, as of course then Taco might need to go towards Underpass and recover that second AWP.
And we'll have to find out if he actually does that. I suppose right now he's still waiting it out for for a bit of a commit onto a bomb site, so that he knows that he can safely dive into Underpass, for example. Singularity looking towards that A site, and probably going to be quite comfortably able to take it. Have that in their hands, and also with that grab at the 6th round.
Well, there will be that they execute. They're just moving in, and MiBR should know you can't contest this anymore. You don't have the funds, you don't have the reserves, so you'll have to fall back and make do of your maximum loss bonus in the following round. Taco indeed now moving on towards Underpass area to recover, most likely Fallen his AWP, yet the door is closed. He has to open it and check what he can do, but there's a player already moving in, and where's that AWP actually lying? He can't actually find it. There might have been a player from Singularity to get it away, as one player will now fall. It's going to be Iceberg going down, and Taco still holding on, trying to contest whoever might still come down those stairs. He's still looking for that AWP, yet he cannot find it, so that must mean that the micro from Singularity has been quite well, getting rid of those weapons, making sure that MiBR can't really save what they want to save. But still, there was still one extra kill to come in for KNG.
Yep, and we'll see an extra round coming in for Singularity now. And although obviously it does have to be said, you know, they did lose quite a few members, they have the advantage of decent reserves. And with that now, they can rebuy again in this next round. It's not the end of the world. Notan here with a critical double kill, I'd say, you know, and they just lined up so nicely for him as well. You know, all he had to do was hold down his left mouse button and just
a little bit of a reverse 7 to come in, and then you make it work. 6-1. And it seems to be such a very strong round, or at least map so far from Singularity. Only losing 1 against the 6 they have currently gained. And, well, once more there will be a buy. Now Taco through the smoke takes down Notan. At least it's a bomb drop. At least it's an opening frag. But will they be able to hold on? Because so far Singularity is just so strong. KNG, are you joking? Yes, you are. There will be decent damage done on towards Cellrate. And the nade will be able to refrag. That could have and should have been a kill for the MiBR side.
Yeah, we've seen so far that one-man advantages don't really get used all that much by MiBR. Fallen there, lovely kill on Iceberg though in the meantime, was trying to really go for that toilets control all by himself, of course, which can work out sometimes, but it's quite challenging. Repeat by Fur coming in here, that's well done. Had that flash from Taco supporting him in his first kill, and then clean second. Makes MiBR to get the second round, but they've still got a 4-round disadvantage to power through, and that is what they will need.
Well, so far Singularity just a little bit slacking right now. But of course they can rebuy. They have still that very good lead because MiBR is playing sloppy, just like they did yesterday against the Copenhagen Flames. They need to step up in this round, and of course the following as well, trying to build some economy, build some reserves in case they do lose once more. It's going to be Singularity just able to rebuy right now. If they do lose, there will be an eco. Nico, completely fleshed out, takes down Fur in the pre-fire. TRK will go aggressive on towards that long corner, but there will be players standing by from the Singularity side, and they do have a hunch. KNG, however, still the supporting player with also an AWP in hand, as more flashes will come in, yet no damage being dealt. TRK will move in towards the aim of Iceberg, who just stood by. And where's the flashbang coming from the MiBR? It's nowhere to be found.
Absolutely, and MiBR now 2-man down, and that is just a nasty situation for them to be in once again. You know, I see Singularity getting that 7th round, and I believe also, well, economy-wise, perhaps if MiBR calls an early save here, so to speak, it could be a chance, but Singularity, they definitely have that upper hand now going for them, but they still have to commit to a site as well. They're all just partying it out in Playground, I'd say, or by Fountain at this point.
Getting close to party.
Getting close to party, so it would be oddly fitting. But we'll see if they can actually get that last frag that they really need to decisively open up a site. Because so far that isn't there just yet. But the time is also ticking down, actually. I thought they had some more time on their side.
Yeah, but there's only one player on that A side for the side of MiBR.
Oh, yeah, they'll get the site.
So that makes it quite easy, as KNG not even actively contesting. He will get a first frag, most likely the player does move in, but he misses. Will be flashed out, now goes for a repeat, but the player already moved through, as now Taco's trying to spray as well, but so far nothing is connected, nothing is working for the MiBR side. More utility to come in from the G side, as there will be a player close by. It will be followed with one refrag, but still, it's going to be a very different round, as Remoy also takes another frag. Only one player remaining on the CT side, meaning the Singularity will build momentum once more for themselves. And Taco going low, Taco going down. It's going to be a rather clean round for the Danes. And once more, they're just playing so strong, and it seems like MiBR, are they just still having a jet lag or something, or is there something else wrong?
I have no idea, honestly. It's a really tough situation for them. And right now, you know, it's always that fine point of, okay, is the other team starting really confidently, or is, you know, the one team just really kind of throwing it a little bit, not really performing up to par? And right now, I'm starting to lean more towards MiBR not really performing up to par. You know, they're not showing up like they should. They're missing some really important shots. You know, I mean, look at KNG there from Bank. He just that shot, well, it didn't go anywhere. He just missed it, and then you know you grant your enemy that chance to get further onto the site. They can already commit to their plant. In this case, you know, Singularity, of course, being on the T side, and then it just looks so negative for you, you know. And right now as well, MiBR is on a pistol buy at best. We've got those 4 Deagles. Okay, MiBR and Deagles, definitely. Those players can get the 1 Deags when they need to, but right now it's the utility overtaking them. Maybe I'm wrong, though, because look at KNG and Fallen showing up like they should. Makes it actually the 4v3 now. That's the 1-man advantage again for MiBR, but it's already gone. As Notan takes out Taco. and they should now be able to commit to the plant. But oh, boosted position coming in here. Let's see if they can get a cheeky frag with that, especially seeing as got a player just crouched down there, looking static. So should be a headshot, although he just dropped past the bomb site, so that's a shame. Missed opportunity.
NiKo takes down one on towards KNG. Now they know where the AWP is and want to recover it. Eventually they will, because the first shot will miss. Still, TRK will have to well, try to run away with the AWP in hand, or he will have to get 2 kills, as the players most likely will chase him down in the end. There will be a very good smoke to be popped down, but the spray will be connecting, and it's going to be Noten with the last frag. A double of his own for this round. And an 8th round as well for Singularity. It was costly, but still, it's a 1 round, and they're really doing well their T-side, and this is also what we saw yesterday. Copenhagen Flames starting off really strong against MiBR. Actually getting a lead, getting a map point in the end as well. And from that point onwards, they were able to convert after quite a few losses. But MiBR on this map not too well first. 17% win rate out of 6 maps. And then if we go to a free mapper, RJ. Inferno isn't too great for MiBR either.
No, and that's the danger zone. But at this point, you know, I'm kind of wondering whose way this is going to go. Okay, this is, of course, Singularity's map pick. Does have to be said. So with that, we do have a certain advantage.
Oh my god. I was so scared Fur would really bug that up, as Remoy will get 1 frag in return, but Fallen now also in danger. Trying to fall back towards Soilers, holding the angle to as long as he does hear Remoy come in. A smoke, however, will block things off, so he can cross safely, most likely, as he's expecting Fallen to possibly move through. Still going to be a little bit of a Mexican standoff. Holland looking for those speed. He will spot the player, and that is now a 4-on-2 situation. This round could have gone differently, because that flash on towards Fur was golden, and he almost messed it up.
Almost, but not quite. We'll see now how they play out the rest of this round, though, you know. They do have a clear man advantage. Spray down from Selwer, it was good enough, but Noten now should definitely be playing for this save. I'm not sure if there's an AWP somewhere that he can recover. I don't think so, because at the last round, it didn't look like he managed to actually find that AWP in the end. So I think that he can just keep this AK and hope for the best, unless he's going to go for some sick clutch plays, but it doesn't quite look like it. Just wait it out until you spawn. Enjoy the lovely sounds of overpass, that train passing by, and yeah, play it patient. There's not much more that he can really do.
Just wait for the moment to come in. KNG will be spotted out, or actually not yet, from the underpass position. Will be a flash as well from the player still standing on the side. 9 bullets left, and unfortunately Noten can't get a single frag yet. MiBR still struggling to get the rounds in. They do have the economy to buy, however, not with an AWP. And that could really hinder them on the long-range fights as well. Singularity might go for at least now an A-take for once, because they haven't just yet. Only once. And that was just because they already had the advantage and MiBR wasn't able to contest at all.
Yeah, I believe there was like the one time that they failed at their A-take, and the last time that they actually got it successfully, also due to MiBR kind of whipping those shots, you know. I believe that was KNG just missing a critical AWP shot, and that allowing Singularity to push onto the site. But doesn't quite look like it, I'd say, judging by, you know, this presence here, pushing into water now. Bomb, of course, a little bit further back, waiting until the area is clear. KNG this time around, he does show up. However, the Tech-9 throws it right back at him. Refrag is clean, and it's a 4v4. Equal odds, equal chances, and equal opportunity for MiBR to maybe choke it out again.
Oh, well, you never know. The Eagles getting closer and closer. NiKo is leading the charge. It is going to be Fur rather low already, as NiKo in the smoke as well tries to move around, but TRK with a great frag. Also bomb dropped. That means that now MiBR has the time, room to work with, as they get frag after frag and a 4th round as well. Still, we already have to say, 8 rounds in for the side of Singularity on their T side is really good. They just need to maybe extend it to double digits.
Yeah, I think saying that they get the double digits now, that would just be a solid first half. You know, they've already got a guaranteed advantage going into the second half. But the bigger you can make that, and especially if you're going into your CT side, which is obviously the case now for Singularity, they lost that knife round against MiBR, so they don't get to start out where they'd perhaps like to most. Then there are very good odds looking here for Singularity on, of course, it does have to be said again, their own map pick. So there is a certain element of them having to show up here regardless, you know, even if they don't have their preferred side from the start. They should know this map. They should know how to handle it. Oh, that is a lovely kill there by Notan. Taco, I believe he was boosted up.
I think he was just jumping by,
just
and
hopping
even
about.
if he was boosted,
Oh, no.
it's just a clean kill to come in. MiBR already struggling from this round onwards, and they do have the AWP on towards Fallen. That is a way to make it back slowly but steadily if they do get those angles. But let's just have a look back at yesterday. Copenhagen Flames played MiBR on this map as well. It was Copenhagen Flames winning both pistols and ending their CT half with a 10-5 scoreline. Then they had a lot of struggle on their T side to make it in. But eventually they made it work. So let's see if the side of Singularity can do that as well. If they're already getting 10 rounds on towards their C, or on their T side rather, it's going to be a very good start for them, only to play it out on the favorite side later on. TRK, however, with 1 frag in return on towards cell rate, brings it back to a 4-on-4. Now we still have those 2 AWPs trying to battle it out. Flashes to come in. It will be, of course, Nico to fall back slightly. And now they might go for that B play. There is one player here. It's going to be TRK spotting them out, so that will force out a rotate from most of the players on the MiBR side. Because time is running out. TRK goes for the frag. He will go down to Iceberg. A 4-3 situation. The AWP now also trying to move in, but KNG, what were you doing right there? Fallen and Fur, bring it back to a 2-on-2. Equal numbers. Bomb to be planted. They know there will be a player on towards the side. He's trying to force the issue, but he will go down to Fur as Fallen. Actually, with the AWP, he's playing rather close. Only Remo alive on towards shore. There is no utility to work with, only 1 kit. So Fur has to go for that defuse. Will Remo have the right timing? He had to maybe move in a little bit sooner. He will now be peeked out. The player's not on the defuse, and still he goes for the peek, meaning that Fur will get a kill in the round as well for MiBR.
Yeah, there's, you know, that was a pretty clean play, I have to admit, by MiBR. They actually, they peaked together well. They, you know, they didn't play as a single unit. They didn't go for the 1v1s that they shouldn't go for, but they actually played that out together. So, does have to be commended there. Good hold on the site. And it started off well. Boop. Indeed, Taco going down by the hands of Notan, but sadly, they couldn't really well, make that work. You see it as well here, you know, Fur peeking in and does frag Remoy, but immediately also that AWP backing him up. So with that, MiBR now get their 5th round, and who knows, they are looking at perhaps ending this first half with less of a disadvantage than we might have initially, well, expected now. KNG, though, once again, I like him on the AWP, but sometimes he really does miss a couple of critical shots, or shots that he should have had. And that's becoming a bit of a consistent pattern. We'll see now that, we're getting a run boost.
Let's go. Nico flying by, trying to bait out an off shot if there would be one standing there. However, MiBR against this pistol armor / eco is playing rather passively. Of course, they are now biding their time, knowing they have those 2 AWPs as well to work those long angles. And, well, the Eagles will have to do some crazy stuff if they do want to make it work. And so far, we are waiting for the Eagles to move in. No utility to work with. But, of course, we have Notan, and he's done some crazy stuff so far because those 1v, they will come in soon. There will be most likely at least 1 player from the MiBR side to fall if they don't use their utility properly. And they have much to work with. But will they use it properly as well?
I think that remains to be seen right now. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they do have an advantage, but then they end up not using it.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen that before. It's a bit of a classic. So I would not be taken aback. You know, I wouldn't be thinking like, oh, come on. Like, I would just be like, oh, good lord, here they go again. But we'll see. Right now, I can also just as much expect some lovely 1-deeks coming in there. You do love to see them as well. But as first started off, goes for the triple. Lovely spray downs from him. Make it a 4. A 4K it is. As Nico goes down and Notan is left.
If he would have had the bomb, it would have been an easy plan.
Yeah, this
but then I'm not really sure what he was doing.
I'm not.
Because if you don't have the bomb, you don't really get anything going for you. Just standing there hoping to catch a rotator or something.
Well, yeah, I think Notan in this team, with the positions that I've seen him play out as well so far in this first half, he's in a bit of a more lurker position sometimes. He's kind of a little bit back on the side, and he doesn't really show up as much with like the entire team. He takes those advantageous positions. Here, once again, that lovely 4K from Fur coming in, and that 4K also.
Yep. But these are proper 1-by-1 peaks.
Yeah.
Not really moving in as a unit. And then Notan also not actually getting any loss bonus, meaning he's now on towards the Galil.
Yeah, it's not ideal, and it's a shame, but that's how it's going to have to work out now. That means that this last round in the first half of Singularity might just be, you know, also a loss. And absolutely, as KNG starts it off well, gets a great double kill there to open up the round. And I'd say maintain the defense is perhaps the best way to put it. MiBR now looking solid towards their 7th round, while Singularity are just taking the losses. They don't have the best of buys. You know, utility is lacking a Galil instead of an AK. And actually, no, I believe now those are 2 AKs. Never mind.
Well, there will be a player from the side of MiBR trying to reconnect real quickly, as most likely he's blaming something. Most likely Taco saying, "Oh, my internet, it's broken.
Yeah.
My FPS is not high enough." But so far they are coming back. This is the last round of the first half. They have the player lead, but still also 2 AWPs. They have to really spread out on towards the sides, because if you have to retake with AWPs, it's going to be real hard unless if they actually move in towards your crosshair. No scopes, we've seen many of them so far in this tournament. But, well, it's not really likely you'll hit them in the retake all too well.
No.
As we do see Fallen still standing by. There will be 1 player pressuring from that A-long area. Most likely Nico with his AWP himself. And indeed, he's moving up. And slowly is looking for, of course, a frag as Fallen takes out one of his teammates. But then there will be Nico with 1 in return. Only 1 member standing on towards the side, pushing towards toilets. And he's trying to dish it out against Remoy. But Remoy will be standing by as well, gets the first frag. Now it's a 2-on-2. And they are moving on towards the side with low time to play with. And they will plant on towards the truck, because of course there will be a molly on towards the default plant. However, they're still alive. They have actually an angle on towards KNG. They know where 1 player is coming from. And they're not even worried about the flank.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but we'll see how that works out now. Remoy, they've got their solid positions that they are holding, so very well mean that they get the frags that they need to. But right now they've also got the time advantage. It's a 2v2. I believe there are the diffuse kits on the MiBR side. Fake out that diffuse now, but ooh, that time is getting shortened. Oh, Nico, that now has really sealed the deal. He does miss there a critical last shot, and KNG can't stick this. Remoy just re-peeks him, and boom, done and dusted. That is the 3-round advantage for Singularity going into the second half. And MiBR, they were on the preferred side, and towards the end of the first half, you can see it. They did show up there, but right now, I don't know. I'm not too happy with their performance just yet. And look as well how they did have the advantage, but in the end, even if they had the advantage at one point, it's gone again.
Well, I'm hoping for them at least they can bounce back. Yesterday we saw Taco being an exceptional anchor on site. So far he hasn't really shown that. So I'm banking on him bringing that back on towards us too, and possibly Inferno as well. But maybe they can do it.
By the way, did you notice that right before the scoreboard disappeared, Notan, right on top of the case, you know, he was at the top of the leaderboard, 15 kills already for him, and
professional player.
Yeah, but clearly that also shows, you know, how happy they must be to have him back now when he was, well, seeing as he was on that school trip yesterday. I wonder where he went. I forgot to check his Twitter, to be quite honest.
Oh, you didn't stalk him? Maybe you can do that between the maps.
Yeah.
As we do see, of course, the pistol to come out. There will be a little bit of utility on towards Fallen, and he will be standing in underpass. A lot of players from the Singularity side actually standing around that area, and they're trying to hold on, trying to see if they can actually get a frag if players do push through. Notan, however, now takes down KNG. There's 1 player dying at the party area. And he's still in toilet, still holding a relatively long angle, as he's trying to get yet another one for his own. It's going to be Remoy now pushing through from the underpass area. He will get 1 as well as Nico. And that means now the bomb is dropped. Further standing by, he will get 1, but an instant trade comes in. Only Taco alive in the 1v4, and so far he hasn't really made it shine. And he's trying to move up with the Glock in his hands. A 1v1, the bomb dropped in an awkward position. 2 players ready to re-peek on towards contact, and they will. Yet Taco still surviving. Of course, also having armor, so at least the body shots won't really deal too much damage on towards him. He's still waiting. He's still trying to peek in. He now actually has the bomb and actually has an angle towards to go towards B. But there's a player standing by. And he will most likely not be expecting Salrate, who just needs to wait for the bomb plant to come in. That's a clean flick, a clean tap, and a clean 10 rounds for Singularity.
And both pistol rounds going to them, you know? That's the C and the CT side pistol round. So that is solid for them, and who knows, this could actually be a very telling sign of how the rest of Overpass is going to go. Had a quick look-see, by the way. He went to Poland, apparently. Krakow. Krakow? Is
Krakow?
That? Yeah, Krakow. Yeah, I don't know how you say it.
I don't know either.
My Polish pronunciation isn't on point, but you know, it looks like he had fun. Clearly, he's in the right mental headspace as well to show up in this map so far. And let's hope for Singularity that he can do that as well on the second map, and then perhaps make this the 2-0 that we didn't expect, you know? Like, you would say that it is going to be MiBR that really shows up here, that has their second day and their chance to shine. But so far, I think things are looking quite confident for Singularity. So They just have to keep it up now. And oh, Nico here, he might have a strong position, but he falls back at just the right time, I guess, for MiBR. Whilst KNG here is holding at water. Can maybe peek in somewhere eventually. It's pretty heavy B-side.
He's still trying to lurk around.
Yeah.
As he's expecting eventually a player from Singularity to either rotate, or is he now trying to draw them out with taking a little bit of damage on towards that molly. That will indicate to Singularity there might be at least one, maybe more players on towards that direction. But still, Singularity want to over-rotate. Now get a first frag, most likely with Nico standing by the AUG. Yes, Half is magazine left. You will get one before being traded out. And Remoy, he's still standing by. How did they not know? Fur, what are you doing, baby? It's going to be only KNG alive. And 1v4, he will get one for himself. But then eventually, he will also go down to Remoy. I'm not sure, because Remoy already had a frag from that position. And then you walk in with your bomb in hand, trying to then plant in front of the player who just killed your teammate?
I mean, I guess they just didn't call it or something. Like, you can see they take out Nico.
Like, and, oh, hello.
And, oh, surprise, Remoy's here. Like, the last player, I believe TRK that was, he did know that he was there, but he just didn't win out the pistol battle. Understandably, because, well, it's a pretty tough battle to win. And in the end, Singularity does take that round with 3 people staying alive. So for their economy, it's not too disastrous either. We'll see now if MiBR can actually come back here with this, I'd say, decent enough full buy. And now really sharp. Okay, and either he's flashed off well, though. Iceberg goes for that MP9 frag. It's a lovely little amount of cash in his pocket, too. Taco here now, peeking out and looking, but can't find anything just yet. And Iceberg sees him instead. He goes down, and that is once again a very, very troubled start to this round, because MiBR, they lose Fallen as well in the meantime. And, well, you know, they lose Fallen, and I think the HLTV rank might also be falling.
Ooh, it's going to be Iceberg going for a Fur. This time he will overstay his welcome. Being taken down by the side of Fur. And, well, it's still a 4-on-2, so Singularity wouldn't be too worried. Just spread out 2 players on towards either side, but now they lose yet another. Remoy a little bit too aggressive maybe, because Nico wasn't able to cover him off. They tried to fake it out with throwing that smoke, but the smoke just popped a little bit too late. Meaning we now have a 3-on-2. Only 1 player standing by towards the A side, but look at the push coming in on towards the spawn. I would assume that to be Cellrate, as he is of course having that MP9 in hand. The A execute will soon follow from MiBR with the only 2 players they have. Yeah, they're still doubting, and with 30 seconds left they could rotate back towards B, but I wouldn't feel as if it would be too likely, too smart as well. As more time is being wasted, there will be a gamble rotate from the side of Singularity as well, because, well, now they really have to commit. A molly thrown in towards their own smoke. A great classic play. As Fur is trying to go for a frag, yet he is now also having to commit towards the plant. It will be a big, it's going to be Nico taking down TRK, leaving only Fur alive. And how don't they know where he is? They expect a default plant, but now they know he's a truck. They will have to swap some weapons, go for a little bit of a cheeky peek. Beautiful headshot from Fur, a 1v2 now. Can of course still clutch it, as he still has some utility to work with as well. Cell rate low. Fur now trying to flash it out, and he throws in 1. Trying to still play time, as the defuse is actually already coming through. Singularity win the round 12-6, and MiBR is, well, losing more and more by the minute.
Yeah, and Singularity, they just keep building out that advantage. MiBR, they still haven't really managed to show up either on their T side now. And sometimes, you know, in a way you would say, right, okay, MiBR, you know, they know how to play aggressive. They've done that in the past, so you'd expect maybe their T side, they would have a better time doing that. But it really doesn't quite look like it. And right now as well, they're going to have a mediocre buy, I'd say. Okay, decent enough. Bit of utility lacking, and Taco has to make do with a Mach 10. But this is another one of those critical rounds, right? This is the round where MiBR has to show up. And if they don't, then the next is probably almost a guaranteed loss, because they'll be forced onto an eco. Unless they just keep forcing it out, but that would be completely mad.
Oh, well, you never know.
True.
Sometimes those things do work out, as Singularity doing the work. But I do believe we also saw a 15-9 come in from the side of Copenhagen Flames last time around. They almost choked it down, so now Iceberg will be pushed in. Taco gets the first frag, but Iceberg with a spiral down of 2. Back to a 3-on-3, but the bomb will be planted. How is it looking for the side of Singularity? Well, only 1 player coming from either Heaven, and there will be most likely 2 coming down from T-spawn. So that will take quite a bit of time to actually get in towards a position. MVP is now waiting for these smokes to dissipate. Fur with a clean headshot on towards Remoy after being dinged himself. As we do now see a 3-2-2, and I would dare to say, most likely, a save to come in from the CT side.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, you do see MiBR now getting some really lovely headshots, you know, those clean one-taps at times where their players can just peek out and boom, tap right on the head, done and dusted. Singularity, you know, indeed going for that save now, and, well, they might as well just preserve the AWP and the AK. AK also a little bit more worthwhile on that CT side. Of course, not a weapon they can buy, but still quite the advantage for Singularity, you know. It's the 5-round advantage that they have, and I don't, you know, I'm worried. I do wonder if MiBR can actually show up now, because Singularity, I believe that they can still get a decent enough buy out of this. MiBR can, of course, continue. They only have to rebuy, you know, a few things and get that utility back on point. But for the rest, they're going to face off a relatively equal battle. And Singularity has a chance to just grab this back. Although at the same time, Singularity can just extend it further now. The Vi.GG odds are still somewhat in MiBR's favor, that has to be said. Of course, the match odds these are, and not just the map odds.
Well, so far, Singularity looking stronger, now having to rebuy, of course, after losing a round. KNG going for water control and will get uncontested. And so far, it actually seems as if Singularity is banking more towards a mid-play to come down from the MiBR side, as 2 players towards party, 1 in underpass. They're trying to do whatever they can. And, well, let's see what they can do in the following round. Nico takes down TRK first, but still, it seems as if MiBR is trying to go towards that B side once more. We are waiting for Singularity to rotate as well, and they will bring 2 rotators, meaning they might have a very good stack going for them, as MiBR is very slow on that execute. Slowly but steadily, they are moving in, but, well, re-smokes are coming in. 1 on towards Monster. Maybe some more utility to go towards short later on, as we're just biding our time. Is going to be Cellrate, also standing by an underpass. He could flank in quite easily as Notan with the first frag onto his KNG. Destroyed! As Notan gets a second before dying himself. Cellrate, however, will now go down, but they could have gone towards the A side. But Taco dies with the bomb. Bomb now dropped towards short. Fallen has to move in. He will get 0 frags. This is going to be Remoy with the last one. Upgrades his weapons. And a 13th round to come in favor of the Danes. And Singularity looking strong.
Iceberg didn't get an AK there at the end, though, I think. That's a bit of a shame, but maybe he'll be happy enough with the MP9. Singularity, indeed, now they can grab that round immediately back after MiBR got one themselves. And whilst you had really hoped out for that, you know, MiBR streak to come in now to get it, you know, really nice and close to really get back on Singularity, it doesn't quite look like it. And right now you can see in the buy as well, pistols, 2 AWPs though, so that's an interesting investment. I wonder how that one's going to play out. I hope it does for them, but if it doesn't, then that is going to be a serious loss for them.
Well, so far, Singularity looking strong as ever. Number 18 in the world taking on the number 16.
Yep.
And they are doing the work, but I would have expected them, as well as Copenhagen Flames, to really research. Maybe they've even shared their research among each other, because, of course, it's part of your national history if you do take down with slightly lower ranked teams, one of the best teams in the world, or former best teams in the world, because they are still quite sloppy. A kill to come in from Cellrite, taking down Fur, and, well, that's Fallen also being rather low. This round as well could go in favor of Singularity.
And Singularity, indeed, you know, they've got this good start now. Fallen needs only 1 more tag. Hell, I'd say even a bit of a too heavy breeze would take him down at this point. TRK goes down on the smoke, and oh boy, you look disappointed.
Why?
Take it away.
They're just going for those solo peaks. They're not playing as a unit, and that's the same thing they did yesterday. They really need to move together. Because if you see them do some P executes, it actually works out quite all right. But now, another solo peak. Soon, another solo peak. And Iceberg, quite easy to get some frags in. We only have Fallen alive in a 1v5 with 3 HP on towards that AWP, but, well, with 25 seconds left, he will get 1 frag. But another 4, I'm not really expecting those to come in, and we're expecting now quite easily to go towards a 14th round in favor of Singularity. And MiBR, what can they buy in the next round? I'm not really thinking all too much.
No, not really. It's very vital that this AWP stays now, but you can see Singularity going on the hunt as well, right? It's them just wanting to completely destroy the economy on the MiBR side. You can see Notan now pushing ahead. Fallen, he's going to make it out just alive in the nick of time. And indeed, had he had, I think, 2-3 more seconds there to really wait it out in Playground like a frightened child almost.
I'm banking, RJ, that the HLTV people are watching this match and basing MiBR's rank according to the outcome, because they've lost against the number 88 of Copenhagen Flames yesterday. They might be losing against the number 80 of Singularity today.
Yeah.
And well, those teams, they deserve to be higher, you dare to say, but MiBR so far on their European trip, not really working too well. And now they have a very awkward force buy to come in. Of course, they have an AK and an AWP, but besides that, 2 Deagles, one of which without armor, one without head armor, and there's still 2 M4s to play with.
Yeah, and I'm willing to see, how that works out. I think that MiBR, they shouldn't have much of a chance. I think this is pretty much solid now, This is their last bet, and KNG, he started out well. He does get a critical first opening frag now, so we like to see that happen. Nico, though, from Toilets, does he get the frag? No, he misses an important AWP shot. He should have had that. Now the opening is there for MiBR. They can push through here via long, try and really get that A site control. And now we'll see. Cellrate, he might be coming in clutch from Bank. Can hold things off. You'll see that utility flying now, but the molly is off. Of course, being thrown onto Bank, a pretty standard position. So it's more down to Noten. And he's shown up so far. He's got some critical shots, but it doesn't quite look like it this time. KNG really being on fire this round. The 3rd kill for him, and who knows if he keeps this up, make it a 4K, maybe an ace, but that nade, it doesn't end up really damaging anyone. But that could have just as easily meant the loss of either Taco or KNG's life.
Well, so far, it's Singularity now losing around, yet I do have the ID, RJ. And MiBR so far is playing as sloppy as anyone eating a club sandwich, because you will always be spilling.
Ooh.
And they are spilling rounds over to the Danish side. This time they do manage to get up there and get an 8th round for themselves. With Singularity, they will most likely still be able to put down pressure. Even if they don't have the economy right now, they don't have to do anything. They can just lay back and say, oh, well, in the next round we can also buy,
Yeah, they have that
worries.
advantage. They still have a very comfortable round advantage. So I'm curious to see, what this is what this is going to give. If Singularity now just try again after an eco, although this is just going to be almost a full buy for them, I dare say. They've got the utility, they've got the weapons, they'll have the armor. Hell, if they're feeling adventurous, maybe even 2 defuse kits in case in point. Cellrate and Iceberg. Spread them out tactically and prevent or even, end a bomb before it explodes. But we'll see. Maybe, just maybe, the hold is good enough. They won't even allow MiBR to get on top of the site. Maybe MiBR will really come back now. They'll show up. They'll prove it to us that they can pull the comeback of the lifetime. But right now, I'm still not having all the
You're
most...
not believing
No,
yet.
I just... MiBR, I want to, right? I want to believe. But sadly, MiBR, they just don't show up. They... even if it isn't their map pick, you just expect a better performance from them. And, against Singularity, nothing against them. They've really shown themselves so far, and they show that they're deserving of a way better place than the 80th rank. But you wouldn't think that they'd be able to put up such a good show, such a good fight against a team like MiBR, There's a league of difference between these two, but MiBR just performing, in such a way that it doesn't really look like there is much of a league of a difference.
Of course, this is still the first map, and of course the map pick from Singularity as well. So there is a chance they will lose Dust 2, then going towards Inferno. Oh wait, we look at the win rates, and the one from MiBR is disastrous. So there's a very good chance that that might still go in favor of the side of Singularity in the long run. Now we see the openers coming down towards the B side. Taco as well as fallen with the opening frag, but Nico sitting by the AWP will get 1 in return before going down himself. It is a 4-on-2, most likely again a save to be called out by the Danish side, but that means they're just possibly delaying the inevitable.
Ooh, delaying the inevitable, you say? That sounds poetic almost. You just can't delay it from happening. You're also feeling quite confident about Singularity taking this map away in the end?
They're really good so far. They just need to really get a decent buy going and most likely an opening kill, because that's the problem right now. MiBR is finally moving in as a unit, finally doing a little bit of decent execute and being able to refrag if need be. But Singularity just needs to get at least 1, maybe 2 AWPs working for them. Peek in, get a frag, and from what we've seen so far, usually the round is done and dusted. And MiBR can get a few in return, but they are too sloppy in the long run as they now again lose yet another player. They have some economy to fall back on, that's not a problem, but still.
You have to think long term, especially if you have such a long way ahead of you like MiBR. They still need to win 7 rounds, technically speaking, right? If they want to actually beat out Singularity altogether, they don't even want to risk an overtime. And if you are starting to make those kind of mistakes there at the end where you do give away, you know, 1-2 more players, then your reserves are going to dwindle. They aren't going to be as solid, as stacked as they should be. And, you know, in 2-3 rounds, if you lose too many players, then even if you get the round wins, you'll still have a serious problem.
Well, at least we see Deagle coming down from No10, and with the MP9 has been strong. So why can't he work on a Deagle as well? We'll see if he'll be able to do at least a little bit of damage, as 3 players on the side of Singularity are currently stacked up towards a long. And MiBR might have a player peek in rather soon, as there is one currently at party. And there's still another player currently at the stairs, just waiting for these flashbangs to come in. And MiBR taking some control, but so far they're not really gaining anything because they don't see the players. And Singularity, I dare to say, could even come back for a flank later on. Nico, the AWP, now takes down Taco. That's what I asked from them. That is the B-side entry as Remoy takes down KNG. The Deagle will come in. It's going to be No10 indeed for kill as well. Cell rate. Only 1 player standing.
Oh, dear.
And I told you, the moment that entry frag comes in, MiBR will just fall. And now they're just peeking one by one by one, walking in towards Tex because they don't use their utility properly.
Yeah, and you know, Fur, he just, as the last man standing, he might as well just go for the save now. There's no point in even trying this. And it just means that the danger is really close for MiBR now. Singularity 1 round away from winning the first map. They'd be off to a solid start. And, well, I'd say too much of a solid start if you look at it from the MiBR side of things, you know. MiBR, they really have to kind of get a way closer win, I'd say, to make me feel confident about them towards Dust 2 as well. I will admit, Dust 2, that's not a good map for Singularity when you look at their track record, you know, 17% win rate over 6 maps. We've seen, you know, better win rates.
Slightly better.
Slightly, just a bit. So that is maybe a worrying outlook, but still, I'd say that there's a solid chance that Singularity can still play that out well enough. And worst case, I mean, we could go to that Inferno Decider. That might be fatal for MiBR, but we'll have to see. For now, let's focus on this first map and see if Singularity can win this out now. Nico, solid start there. I believe also a tag onto KNG through Tick, TRK even. And that tag, this could just as much be the beginning that Singularity needs now for this round. You know, they need 1 more bullet to hit KNG, for example, and he'll be down.
Come in, Cellrate will get the frag on towards KNG. That makes it a 4-on-3 retake. The bomb at least now ticking. But 1 player is currently at party. A long way off for the side of MiBR. And with the flashbangs now coming in, it will be Singularity trying to at least get this retake going. 1 frag going in favor of Fur, but then he will fall to Iceberg. Still the player lead for the side of Singularity, but now also their lurker coming in soon. Fallen holding the angle towards Bank, spotting the player, will be shoulder peak, now being pushed off his target.
They're sticking it.
Defuse is coming in, Cellrate takes down Taco. This must be the round, and it will be the map for Singularity, beating MiBR with a 16-9 scoreline, and they're instantly also dropping from the server because
of course,
they are most likely slightly tilted. They got destroyed so far.
Absolutely. I think if there is a team that I'd expect to tilt, it would be MiBR, because if you so consistently choke, that's got to create